Does Sri Lanka have an FDI problem? Many Asian economies have benefited from trade, FDI and regional integration, while Sri Lanka has not fully taken advantage of these opportunities. Despite its strategic location and market access, FDI inflows into Sri Lanka have been lower compared to its peers. Most FDI is focused on infrastructure rather than sectors linked to global production networks. Encouraging more investment in these sectors could improve Sri Lanka's access to global networks and enhance value creation in production. FDI would significantly help to unlock Sri Lanka's growth potential in the post-COVID world by diversifying the sources of growth. Therefore, it is necessary to understand and address the reasons why attracting FDI to Sri Lanka remains a challenge. Despite its strategic location, Sri Lanka's performance in attracting FDI has been uneven during the last decade and remained below 2% of GDP despite its strategic location and access to major markets. Sri Lanka's FDI as a percentage of GDP on average amounted to 1.1% over the period from 2011 to 2021. FDI to Sri Lanka experienced a dramatic decline in 2019 and 2020, with a year-on-year decline of 49% in 2019 and a year-on-year decline of 42% in 2020. This marked decline coincides with the period of tremendous political uncertainty in Sri Lanka. The negative effect of this decline has only magnified with Sri Lanka's unsustainable debt levels, severe liquidity shortages in its foreign exchanges market, and fiscal challenges. The composition of Sri Lanka's FDI inflows primarily consists of intra-company loans, in other words, short-term capital. Only 11% of FDI inflows are new investments, in other words, equity, and this has been on decline since 2018. However, significant FDI has been in the form of expansions, with 34% of FDI inflows in expansion projects, in other words, reinvestment earnings, suggesting that there are opportunities for growth and expansions from existing investors, provided the policy environment in investment climate is conducive. So clearly, Sri Lanka has an FDI problem. What can be done? The World Bank is providing technical assistance to the authorities to address critical gaps in the country's investment policy in a phased-out manner. This was based on a request made by the government following the 2023 national budget announcement to introduce a new legal regulatory framework responsible for attracting FDI. The Investment or Economic Commission chapter of the Economic Transformation Bill provides a solid foundation for strengthening the investment regime in Sri Lanka. Envisioned by the government as a first wave of reforms, the bill aims at reorganizing the institutions in the investment, export, and trade space and introduce a new institutional framework centered on a single economic commission. The current bill incorporates good practice principles, which will streamline the institutional framework, clarify rules on investment entry, and strengthen investment protection. You just learned on what are the current problems behind the Sri Lanka's FDI. To learn more on what are the problems in the current framework, tune in on the next video.
If you are interested in seeing more content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow Advocata on all social media platforms to never miss out on our latest content. Consider supporting Advocata by becoming an individual subscriber. Gain access to our weekday media monitoring of economic news, exclusive Advocata events, and more. To learn more, visit us at support.advocata.org.